Welcome to the Manufacturing, Automotive, and Energy Keynote.
I don't know about any of you guys, but man, I was out late last night at some of those customer events, so hey Chris, I could really use an espresso. Can you hook me up with that Dreamforce app?
Absolutely, Cindy. What are you feeling like this morning?
Something intense.
All right, let's check out your favorites here. How about the Indonesia?
That's good. I like that one.
All right,
I'll
we'll
take
put
that
an
one.
order for that.
Well, good morning to my favorite barista, Yumi. How are you this morning? And Yumi, I hear you're going to make me my espresso this morning. Now, Yumi, I heard you flew in just for this event, and while you were over at Hannover Messe, you only gave Chancellor Merkel a fist bump as a hello. And in my case, you're actually creating my own personal espresso. So how special do I feel this morning? And good morning, everybody. And thank you for coming here this morning, and welcome to the Manufacturing, Automotive, and Energy Keynote. My name is Cindy Bolt, and I lead our industry team across each one of these industries and strategy. And what a great way to start out the morning. Start out the morning with all of you here and with a hot cup of espresso. As soon as Umi finishes that, I think I'll take a taste. But we also thought it would be fun. It would be fun to start the morning showing and seeing how robotics is changing the way we interact with technology. It's changing our lives. It's changing the way we work. And it's not just on the plant floor anymore. And with that, I think I'll just take a break, a moment here. Thank you, Yumi. Oh, and it's hot, too. I must say, it's a little hot. I wasn't prepared for that. And thank you, ABB, the team who made this happen. And we also thought that this would be a reinforcement to how we work faster, better, and we're more productive with technology. And we've now humanized the interaction, and we've personalized it through digital technology. Now that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how do you create that digital ecosystem around your customer to personalize their experience. And we'll do that in 3 ways. The first is we'll share our point of view of how do you create that digital ecosystem. And the second is we'll show solutions. We'll show demonstrations of solutions that customers are using today to help them in this transformation. And the third, and we think most exciting, we've got 3 trailblazing customers here in the front row. They're going to share their story about their journey and focusing more on the customer, leveraging digital technology. Now, to get started, you're going to see this a lot this week, a message from our lawyers and a reminder. We're a publicly traded company, so please make all your buying decisions based on products available today. And also another big thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. We have over 2,800 attendees across manufacturing, automotive, and energy. That's a record level attendees. We're in a packed house this morning. It shows the level of interest, but also shows the opportunity for all of you to network and learn from each other. And we've got 4 days of events and sessions, jam-packed agendas for all of you to take advantage of. And there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot happening across your industries. There's optimism, innovation, and momentum happening. And with global GDP growth, you're increasing the hiring, and you're also investing in more capital. At Hannover Messe and CeBIT this year, the buzz was all about how do you invest in more artificial intelligence, automation, and connectivity. And at CERAWeek, it was about how do you invest in a world with less oil. Meanwhile, in the automotive industry, it's all about the next electronic vehicle and mobility services. I mean, just look how technology has changed over the last few years. I mean, we are now interacting and collaborating with robots like Yumi as part of our everyday lives. We talk to our cars, we talk to our homes. They learn as they go because they're powered by intelligence. That's the impact of the 4th Industrial Revolution. But the real key to all this is to unleash the capabilities to create that new level of relationship with your customer and to really understand their experience along the value chain. And you've got a lot of pressure happening in the industry. I mean, what does that mean, creating a digital ecosystem and a digital transformation? It means connecting your employees, your products, your suppliers, and your customer, all understanding the experience in a real-time, proactive way. And there's a ton of pressure in the industry to remain competitive. 3 key industry trends that all of you have shared with us driving this momentum. The first is what I think it was InfoWeek a couple of weeks ago called it the perfect storm of challenges. And the next 5 years, some of you know, your entire sales teams might be retiring, right? Last weekend, I was talking to my godson. He just graduated with a master's degree in data science. Guess where he wants to work? Google, Amazon, LinkedIn, even Salesforce. My advice to him was expand your portfolio of search. You'll have greater opportunity in manufacturing, automotive, and energy, and you'll get hired sooner. His parents really liked that little advice that I gave him, because these industries, your industries, are looking for talent like him. And so the point here is invest. Invest to retrain your current workers, but also invest to attract that next technology-savvy generation. It'll help you deliver on the second trend, which is intelligent connectivity. And let's face it, your customers want you to know them better than they know themselves, right? McKinsey did a study that said if you invest in artificial intelligence along your value chain, just not in one place, but along the value chain experience, you could double your revenues by 2020. And if you don't, you could drop your revenues, you could lose revenues of nearly 20%, pretty significant. Having that intelligent, connected experience will differentiate that customer's experience with you. And now the only way that you could really deliver on that is to have a digital transformation plan. Like, I know this is not new to many of you. You've already begun that journey, yet the conversations we have with many of you are go faster, be more agile, and bring that customer and the partner earlier in the process, earlier in the plan to execute. And why is having a digital transformation so important? I mean, Gartner did a survey that said it is the #2 investment in our business plan next to growth. I was speaking with some of our partners yesterday who said when they surveyed their customers, it's 60% of the budget. Pretty significant. And this is not about just hiring new talent, upgrading the back office, or getting new technology. This is about creating that ecosystem around the customer. Because every touch point counts, especially in this digital B2B world, right? So a bad experience could have had an impact and a difference experience of your customer. It could really hit your bottom line, especially with expectations changing so quickly with customers. They now expect you to know them better than they know themselves, right? And all these different touch points, it's really complicated. How do you understand all those experiences along the way? In fact, the team and I had a challenge. How do you, in an audience like this, show an interaction like that? And I see a few of you shaking your heads. Yes, we've depicted the complexity of the world that you live in with all these interactive relationships. Data's in silos. Your sales teams can't get access to product schedules. Your partners can't see inventory. You know, we've got, different systems, different data, different platforms, and no unified view of the customer. But we do believe technology is there that can help reduce some of this friction. And why is that important? As I said before, customers really want you to know and understand their experience before they do themselves. They expect you to, know what they want, when they want it, wherever they want it. I mean, think about some of the examples we've heard already. You now can have Amazon deliver a product to the trunk of your car, right? One great example we've heard is you can listen to the largest industrial piece of equipment anywhere around the world, dispatching your service engineers to service that equipment before the customer even knows there's something that's needed. And it could be anywhere in the middle of the ocean. I mean, these are such great examples that we are hearing from customers how you're leveraging technology to deliver a new level of experience. And why is that so important? It's important because we need to continue to invest. And so Salesforce has continued to invest to help you deliver that next level of experience. Yesterday, if you're at Mark's keynote, he talked about Einstein Voice. We've also made some acquisitions that I think are particularly important to this audience, like MuleSoft for integration of all those back office systems that we showed before, but also CloudCraze for B2B commerce to deliver that new level of instant experience in a digital way. I mean, each time we've made some of these investments, we've had now an eye on industry. A great example of that is in the manufacturing industry. You've shared with us some of the areas where you want to transform, connecting your back office to your front office. And through Salesforce, we've delivered some of these capabilities as just an example of what we are here to share with you today. And also, we've got examples to share with you across the other segments later in the presentation. So we've learned from all of you. We've learned, whether you're large or small, leaders of your industry segment, what's important to you? How are you using our technology in your everyday lives? And how can we continue to add capabilities to invest in our products, in our acquisitions, in our partner portfolios, to deliver a better experience with you, for you, with our capabilities so that you can deliver that digital ecosystem to your customer. And the best way to reinforce this is to have 3 of our customers share their story. And so let's first go to the ABB video to share their story.
ABB is a truly innovative company that is pioneering technologies to contribute to changing the world.
At ABB, we have the aim to run the world without consuming the earth.
And we, as a technology leader, we're trying to make an impact as the world moves its energy source to electrically driven mobility.
ABB is a pioneering technology leader that serves utilities, industry, and transport and infrastructure customers all around the world.
Our collaborative robots work hand in hand with humans. We are automating your homes, and we are providing EV fast charging stations.
Electromobility is what ABB believes as the future preferred method of transportation. And we are very happy that we had the privilege to support ABB Formula E. Electrical, e-charging and e-mobility car racing.
When you look at the impact of technology, and especially now digitalization, it offers tremendous opportunities for our customers to drive productivity and employment, and for ABB to drive profitable growth.
Customers are a big driver, actually, of the industrial revolutions because their demand and what they need are driving us to act fast and deliver solutions.
We want to grow, we want to drive execution, and we want to collaborate better. So in simple terms, more, better, together. The partnership with Salesforce is right in the center of this.
We differentiate ourselves to our customers by, first of all, listening to them. And then, of course, acting fast on what they tell us. Salesforce is a tremendous tool to help us to do exactly that.
Before we used to go on a siloed approach to the customer. Now we have a 360 view of what the needs of the customer are.
Today we have 28,000 employees in the marketing and sales organization on the Salesforce platform.
Whether they are field service engineers or salespeople, we are able to not only document but also address the needs of the customer. Now that's a much richer experience and a much tighter connection to the customer's challenges and solutions rather than just calling them up and say, what are you looking for from ABB?
We want to have zero distance between the customer and the salespeople. Salesforce really helps us on that, and it's a very important centerpiece of value creation for our customers, for our shareholders, and for our people.
What a great video. What some key messages. Wasn't it great? And ABB is this global leader of power grids, electrification equipment, industrial manufacturing equipment, manufacturing products, robots, and more. And they leverage Salesforce across their business, sales, service, marketing, and more to help them deliver that new level of experience. But best way to tell the story again is to invite Sabina Busse, who's the Senior Vice President, Global Head of Marketing and Sales, to share the story. So thank you for coming up, Sabina. And it's Sabina's team that helped deliver Yumi. Again, we were very happy to have Yumi here.
Good morning, and thank you for the invitation to be here.
Oh, absolutely. Now, there's some great key messages in this video, so maybe you can just share, like, how did you start this initiative, and how did it get started around creating a digital ecosystem of customers?
Well, I mean, ABB is mainly active in the B2B area. We are a technology solution provider serving customers in around millions of customers, actually, in around 40 different industries across the world. Actually, I mean, what we have witnessed was that a couple of years ago, our customers have dramatically changed in a sense that they wanted to buy on a global basis from us. It was more local business. They demanded to buy globally. They demanded to buy not just products, but services, solutions, systems. And all these challenges basically were driving us to answer to the needs. So for example, a couple of years ago, customers demanded a robot. We delivered a robot. Today, they're demanding for Yumi, and Yumi being part of a robotic suite, the solutions that we are providing then to customers, not just in a singular place, but all over the world. And that's, I think, really what was driving our ambition to get active here.
So the customers were the one that sort of initiated this program, this focus around it. That's great. Yeah, so they're back to they know what they want when they want it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So in the film, you talk about this new initiative called the Intelligent Field Service. Can you share a little bit more about that program?
Yeah, so basically, as mentioned, we have today 28,000 marketing and sales colleagues on the Salesforce platform, and we are now bringing on also our field service staff. So as we speak today, we are piloting various field service solutions and hope to go live on a global basis very, very fast. And I think there's a great opportunities in here, and we're very much looking forward into tapping into the installed base and actually really leveraging the data that we can generate from our 80 million connected devices, as well as 70,000 industrial control. Yes, absolutely. We have quite a few equipment and installed base out there. So I think that's a huge potential to use that data in a proactive manner and support customers in a predictive maintenance manner.
So large company, big initiative. How do you drive adoption?
Adoption is actually was, as you can imagine, quite a big challenge at the beginning of the whole journey. So bringing 28,000 colleagues on, it's not something that comes easy. But with a proper change management program, also senior management very actively engaged, but then also cutting off legacy systems. We were actually managing to drive adoption. Today we have a global network of champions that are training on a daily basis our colleagues all over the world. We have put KPIs in the scorecards of the marketing and sales colleagues. So I would say what is also nice that now after 2 years we like Salesforce and the marketing.
She's being honest.
No, I mean the marketing and sales colleagues, they are really appreciating now, well, the transparent manner, the collaboration that they can get out of it, and for us to some extent, the stick turned into a carrot, and actually we like eating the carrot at the moment.
It's a journey, right? It's a journey.
Absolutely.
In fact, that kind of leads me to my last question. Parting advice, whether working with Salesforce or driving adoption, any parting words that you can share?
Always start with the customer. Put the customer first, listen, adopt your processes and tools accordingly, and really make it easy for your customers to do business with, especially in the B2B area. I think that's fundamental. And that's what we are at the moment, the journey that we are on. And what's also very motivating, not just for now in ABB, the marketing and sales organization, but I think all function and business lines, putting the customer basically in the center of your actions is really also motivating to our teams.
The entire value chain we talked about. Okay,
absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
I know
you.
we have 2 things in the hands here. Thank you. All right. Now we want to bring to life the story. So let me invite Peter McCall, one of our key team members, product marketing for industries, to bring to life the demo of ABB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to show you today how ABB is using Salesforce across sales, service, and marketing to create that digital ecosystem around their customer. So meet Paul. Paul is a manager at Foodco Industries. Now, Foodco Industries is an ABB customer. Paul's looking for a new industrial robot solution, but he doesn't know exactly what he's looking for. So, like many of us in this room, he would go online to do some research. Now, if you think back to the last time you did some online shopping, if you know exactly what you're looking for, it's not that bad. But if you don't, sometimes it can be a challenge to find it. And so you can imagine how Paul's feeling. He sees the wide range of robots that ABB carries. And so today what he'd do is he'd pick up the phone and call. But in the future, he might use online chat. And now that's powered by Live Agent. Now, Live Agent is this incredible Salesforce product because what it lets you do is connect with potential customers on your website right at the moment of interest. Imagine the effect on your bottom line you could have if you could lend a helping hand to each customer that's looking for information. So now he's connected to Anuj. Anuj is a service rep at ABB. Anuj spends his time in Service Cloud, where he has a 360-degree view of the customer. You can see on the left here, he's got his chat window where he can engage with Paul, ask him a couple questions about his business. And based on that information he learns, he thinks that ABB's IRB 6640 line of robots is right for Foodco. So he'll suggest it, and then Paul seems interested, so he'll end the chat, and right from the case record, he can create a sales opportunity. And because we know part of delivering great customer experiences is a team sport and seamless transitions from stakeholder to stakeholder, so now that sales opportunity created by the service team is automatically routed to the sales team. So now we meet Karen. Karen is a sales rep on the ABB account, on the Foodco account, and she has that same 360-degree customer view. You can see in the middle here, she has information on how she's doing and whether or not she's going to make her number for the quarter. And on the top right, she's got that opportunity she needs to follow up on right under My Tasks. So let's click into it. And as she's looking into this opportunity and doing some research, she wants to learn a little bit more about Foodco. So you can see here she's got information into cases that are open, any opportunities, and what the NPS score is. On the right-hand side, she's got Chatter, where she can collaborate with her colleagues. And so now what she'll do, of course, she'll pick up her phone and give Paul a call, right? No. She has Lightning Dialer built right into the Salesforce app, so with one click, without leaving her browser, she can call a customer. She's got Paul on the line, asked him a few questions about his strategy and his operational challenges. And based off of that information, she thinks, hey, that IRB 6640 is the right robot. But in addition, she has Einstein, Sales Cloud Einstein, right in that same browser, telling her that in addition to that robot, ABB Ability Condition Monitoring for Robots is the right solution for him. She mentions it, Paul's interested, and eventually they close the deal. And now ABB Ability is monitoring Paul's connected robots. And they want to do this because they want to, in the future, proactively generate service cases so they can help customers reduce product downtime, saving them time, money, and hassle. Imagine now we're far into the future, that robot's been running for a long time, and ABB Ability's been monitoring it. And what it notices is, based on some data, there's a 90% probability of breakdown in 2 weeks' time if no maintenance is performed. Now, ABB makes top-of-the-line robots, so you can imagine that Paul's interested in keeping this thing up and running. So what he'll do is he'll go to his My ABB portal, where you can see that notification letting him know he needs to schedule a service visit. So let's click in, find that appointment. And now on the right-hand side, he can click a scheduler, where he can self-select the right time for him. And once he does that, ABB wants to get boots on the ground to go fix this problem as fast as possible. And in the future, they could do this with something like Field Service Lightning. Now we meet Lisa. Lisa is the field technician on the Foodco account. And she has Field Service Lightning Mobile, where right from her mobile phone, she has the same 360-degree customer view. And thanks to an integration powered by MuleSoft, she can actually access information from ABB's ServIS database system. So that when she gets on site, she has all the information she needs. She's got the product manual. She knows she can fix the part. So she gets on site, pulls up that information, fixes it, and once she's done, she can have Paul sign off on the job right from her mobile phone. Now, because ABB wants to capture feedback in real time, they'll send him a follow-up NPS survey. Now, Paul had a great experience, so he'll give a 5-star glowing review. And now ABB has a better picture of Paul as a customer and Lisa as an employee. But what we can see is that NPS survey was just part of a broader email journey, where ABB can send information about their products and solutions, but also a call to action to check out ABB Formula E. Now, if you don't know what ABB Formula E is, it's this incredible new electric car racing series. And now that Paul's clicked into this, ABB has a better picture of him and his interests so that they can trigger future social media and marketing journeys. What they can also do is send Paul the opportunity to win 2 complimentary tickets to the upcoming Formula E race in his area. And now what you've seen is how ABB creates a digital ecosystem around their customer across sales, service, and marketing, and it's all powered by integration. Now with that, I'd like to invite up Ashut Jaju to the stage, our VP for Industry Strategy. Ashut, take it away.
Thanks, Peter. Wow, what an amazing demo. What we just saw was these solutions for B2B manufacturing customers and customers like ABB. and the power of the Salesforce platform. And wasn't that part about Formula E, electric charging, all of this good, cool stuff that's going on in our industry? Wasn't that really cool? What a perfect segue to discuss automotive. There's a lot going on in our automotive industry. We have taken the same Salesforce platform and reimagined it for automotive. As we all know, automotive consumers are becoming digital. More and more of them are spending time online, on the web and social, before they even come to the dealerships. I was reading this stat out there. There was a time when we used to go to the dealership 6 or 7 times. Now we go only 1 or 2 times, right? We already know what we want to buy before we go to the dealership or to the retail location. So with Salesforce DMP and Salesforce Marketing Cloud, now you can deliver, automakers and the retailers can deliver one-to-one personalized interaction and shape the consumer's thinking to buy the right car that they want to buy, right? This is the power of digital marketing in the automotive business. And when that consumer fills in the lead, how do we take that information, pass it on to the dealer so that there is a seamless transition from the digital to the physical world? So with Salesforce Community Cloud, dealer engagement, and lead management, we can enable that. This is the power of Salesforce platform, the ability to create the connected ecosystem around the consumer by connecting your vehicles, your employees, and your retail locations. And the best way to talk about this is to discuss what Volvo is doing. Volvo Cars, a global iconic car brand, is using Salesforce for marketing, sales, service, retailer, and consumer engagement. And the best way, I believe, to talk about this is by inviting Mark Gaynor onto the stage. Mark is VP of Consumer and Enterprise Digital. That's a fancy title, Mark.
It really is.
Yes. And with Volvo Cars America. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
So, Mark, you're an iconic brand. We know the story. A few years ago, Downturn happens.
Yep.
And Volvo was kind of trying to figure out what will happen, and then you got a new ownership, got a new leash to life, right?
Yes.
And you embarked on a program called Retail Customer Experience Program.
Yep.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so for us, the whole thing started really when we got that new lease on life. We got capital infusion, and we were a near luxury OEM at the time. And as we invested into our products, we decided to go directly at the other luxury OEMs. And that was, 10 years ago, that was a journey. And so if you look at the customer interactions and the way customers behave, that's all changed in the last 10 years. And for us, as we're now targeting a new customer, it's great to have fantastic products, and we do, by the way. But it's also just as important, if not more so, to have fantastic experiences. Customers will not engage with us if they have a terrible experience, because there's other good products out there. So for us, the whole thing really started based upon good products, but the experiences have to match them.
Great. So tell us more about kind of how Salesforce is underpinning this program.
Yeah, so with Salesforce, we started with the delivery experience. And so that's when a customer takes possession of their new car. And for us, it's a really pivotal moment in the relationship, because it's when a customer goes from a prospect to joining the Volvo family. And they learn about their car, and it's an emotional moment. So we've got to get that right. And we built this on Salesforce. We built an app for it, and we empowered our retailers. And for those who don't know, within the US, retailers, it's a franchise model. So effectively what you end up with is this three-legged stool of partners, so our retailers. You end up with us and then the consumer. And what we saw with the delivery tool was that Salesforce did a fantastic job of underpinning this relationship.
Awesome. So let me just kind of drill deeper into this whole retailer engagement that you're just talking about, because this is it's a fascinating industry. Most of us have gone through this experience of going to the dealership, and it's not always it's just a challenging environment. But it seems like you took that head on. And so how are you kind of enabling these dealers and retailers to really kind of engage with the consumers in the right way?
Sure. So we did the delivery tool. It was a good success. And the next natural step for us was to build out a community, a portal. And similar to an old Volvo 240 wagon, we had a legacy platform, a bit vintage. Did it work? Yes. Was it engaging, and were retailer personnel, were they finding what they needed? No, they weren't. So starting in January, we kicked off a program to build a community. About 5-6 months later, we went to pilot to about 25-30 retailers. Learned pretty quickly that, well, we missed the mark. They told us that. So we adjusted in an agile way. We pivoted. We added the right functionality, and we're going live next month. But the entire intention behind it is that we want to provide retailers with relevant metrics, data, information, what they need to conduct their business. And if we can get them to engage more with us, actually spending less time on the platform, then we know we're hitting the mark.
Awesome, awesome. And you talked about this. You're launching awesome products, great products. You've got this infusion of capital, new stuff coming in.
Yeah.
You now need consumers to come in. So tell us more about, as you're doing these launches, how are you kind of getting that right message to the right customer at the right time?
Well, you look at traditional media, and of course we're doing that. And yes, we have the Salesforce DMP, so we're trying to get to the right customers who are in market, the right demographics, so all of the things that Salesforce is helping us with and helping other customers with. But bringing the right customers in is as much about brand advocacy. So for us, we're trying to make sure that the marketing cycle is not your traditional funnel anymore. And for us, we know in 3 to 5 years, consumers will be looking at that next relationship. So we have to make sure that the experience throughout the entire ownership cycle, from just consideration all the way through to reconsideration, is a fantastic experience. So thinking about things like pickup and delivery, thinking about things, Cindy mentioned Amazon, that's us, we're doing that. So you can actually, let's say you have that a birthday coming up for that special someone,
right,
and you don't want them to know that you ordered a package. So you can have your prime delivery scheduled, park your car at work, Amazon shows up, they open the trunk, put the package in, close the trunk, relock the car, and then on your app you get a notification your car is locked and the package has been delivered.
Wow, it's a very different level of experience.
Yeah.
So I think Cindy was talking about this, electric cars, mobility services, like a lot is changing. You guys have a program called Care by Volvo.
Yes.
Like how do you think about technology transformation? And you and I, we were last night talking about like this new role that you have where it's not just a CIO, but you actually have a business kind of ownership of all of these digital services.
Yeah, so related to Care by Volvo specifically, we took cues from the relationship with your mobile phone. So think about your relationship today. You sign a contract with a provider, you get your new phone, and that's it. You make a monthly payment, insurance is included, you don't think about it. Then, over the course of that 2-year contract, Apple launches the new iPhone. Oh, cool, I want that. So you simply sign a new contract, turn in your old phone, get a new phone. Well, Care by Volvo is the same concept. Subscribe to an XC40. When you subscribe, you sign a 2-year contract, maintenance included, insurance included, as seamless as possible. But guess what? We're launching the S60, much cooler. Debatable depending upon who you are, but a fantastic car. But you want an upgrade. So you upgrade your car, you turn in your XC40, you get your S60, and it's the same thought process, making it as simple and easy as possible. You touched upon my role. So my role specifically, one of the things that, so that connected car experience with Amazon that we talked about, that's through a subscription service called Volvo On Call. That actually reports into my organization, and we measure things like number of subscribers, renewal rates, and actually have a P&L. So what used to be an enterprise IT organization is now a digital organization with P&L responsibilities.
Awesome. This is a fantastic story. Thanks, Mark, for sharing this with us. Thank you. Great. It's amazing what's going on in the auto industry. Obviously, it's amazing what Mark and his team are doing at Volvo. I'm sure all of you are itching to see what are they really doing? What is all this cool stuff that Achyut and Mark just talked about? So I'm just going to invite Lance to do exactly that. Walk us through the Volvo story in a demonstration. Lance?
Thanks, Achyut. Good morning, everyone. Let me set the stage for the demo for you. Volvo is one of the world's largest and most respected automakers. They've recently partnered with Salesforce to create a connected ecosystem around their customer, the Volvo driver. In this demonstration, we'll show you the experience of a customer and a Volvo dealer retailer. Let's take a look. Meet Isabella. Isabella is a young professional living in San Francisco. She's always driven used cars, but due to a recent promotion, she's decided to purchase a new one. She's never owned a Volvo, but she's heard great things about the brand from her friends that own one. She decides to do more research on social media. While searching Facebook, she receives a targeted and personalized ad from Volvo, clicks it, and is taken to Volvo.com, where she can further research new models. Based on her current needs, she decides she's interested in a sedan and opens the configurator. She really likes the look and feel of the new 2019 S60 and decides to configure one. She chooses a nice blue color. She also adds the advanced package because she's really interested in the new IntelliSafe autopilot feature. Because Volvo uses Salesforce, they can capture these configurations in their Salesforce instance so that whenever a customer walks into a retailer, the retailer has a 360 view of that customer before they ever decide to buy. Isabella decides to take the next step and schedules a test drive. Volvo's site recognizes her location and suggests the nearest Volvo retailer. Once she's confirmed, Volvo immediately sends a new lead to Scott, a salesperson at the Volvo San Francisco dealership. This new lead arrives in a retailer community. This way, when a customer walks into a retailer, the retailer automatically knows that the car the customer is interested in, creating a seamless, high-touch experience, personalized for the customer, and powered by intelligence. On the day of the test drive, Isabella arrives at Volvo at San Francisco. Scott is able to check her in on the Volvo Dealer Delivery app. This app provides Scott with a guided check-in process and can also recommend new features on the S60, such as the voice command feature. Isabella now has the car of her dreams. On the day of the test drive, Isabella test drives the S60 and loves it and decides to buy it. Scott hands Isabella the keys to her new S60, kicking off her official relationship with Volvo as a company. But Scott's not yet done. He adds Isabella to a marketing journey where she will receive targeted and personalized emails that will educate her about Volvo as a company and also the features and value of her new S60. These emails are powered by the Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and they're personalized with the power of Einstein. One such email recommends that Isabella download the Volvo app. This mobile app will allow her to understand the new features of her S60 and also collaborate with other S60 owners in the ecosystem. Because the S60 is connected, Volvo realizes that Isabella is not using the new IntelliSafe autopilot feature. They add her to a journey that will send her alerts, prompting her to get more education on the feature, how to set it up, and how to get value out of it. Isabella now has the car of her dreams after having experienced a truly connected buying experience that took her from an unknown shopper to a known lead to a satisfied customer, all delivered on the Salesforce platform. So back to the slides. What have we just seen? We've seen how Volvo was able to create a truly connected experience around their customers and their retailers, combining marketing and sales with their dealer networks, powered by app dev and IoT, all delivered on the Salesforce Customer Success Platform. Thank you, everyone. Achyut, back to you.
Great job. Great job. Awesome. Great job, Lance. That was great. S60. Mark, you're getting a lead from me for sure. And for all of you out there, I was in this car last night at the reception. This thing is geeked out. Tech, it's full of tech. So you guys are technology people. If you're not sending leads to Mark and filling up those lead forms, you're missing out on a great, awesome car that you should be driving in the next 6 months or so. That's my plug for you, Mark. There you go. So robots, cars, consumers, retailers, that's like, but there's something that runs our world, oil and energy. So let's just talk about energy, right? What are we doing, Salesforce doing in energy? As you can imagine, energy most of the workers are in the field. They're working on rigs, managing operations, taking care of work in the field. So with the Salesforce Field Service Lightning platform, digital field worker solution enables these field workers to get all of that data that they need to be productive and do all the work and also connect back to the corporation. Also in energy, most of the energy providers, oil and gas companies, work with a very complex ecosystem of suppliers, distributors, operators, contractors. And they have to engage with them to orchestrate work across this ecosystem. So with Salesforce platform, Community Cloud, the ability for energy companies to use employee engagement and supplier engagement solutions, they can really do that effectively. That's the power of this platform. We have reimagined this platform for the energy customers. So what is one of our customers, leading customers, doing in the energy world, right? Hess is a global leader in oil and gas. They have taken the Salesforce platform, Community Cloud, Einstein, and Quip to really reimagine the way they engage with their supplier ecosystem and rethink how they work with that ecosystem. And the best way to talk about this is by inviting Evelyn McLean-Quick, the Chief Procurement Officer and Head of Global Supply Chain from Hess, to discuss this program. Evelyn? Thanks for joining us, Evelyn.
Welcome. Thank you.
So most of you must be wondering, why is a Chief Procurement Officer at a sales service marketing conference, right? So I think it's pretty interesting, right? Like you must have been thinking, oh, wow, so there's a reason for this. Because Evelyn, you, like I was sharing, you work with a very vast ecosystem of these players, suppliers, contractors, and operators. Can you just share the complexity and scale of your environment?
Sure. So our role is to bring energy to the world. And we must do that safely and responsibly. Some of our wells, our deep water wells, can be 30,000 feet below the surface. That's where these reservoirs often are. To drill a well can take 5-6 months if it's in a complex area. They can cost somewhere in the 300 million plus range. This lends itself to a pretty complex supply chain. A lot of the services involve the acquisition of solutions that are engineered and pioneered by companies like ABB, as you've heard today. But at any one time, we're dealing with in excess of 4,000 suppliers. Maybe in a year, we process about 300,000 invoices. The number of purchase orders and contracts can easily exceed 100,000. And each of these suppliers are unique in their own right. Some of them are providing niche products, some of them it's personnel, and anything that goes along in between. So a lot of complexity. It's a high hazard, high consequence business. So therefore, safety and environment has to be job one. Therefore, the screening, the assessments, and thereafter the performance delivery is really very, very key in our business.
Wow, that's amazing. Evelyn, today, oil prices are doing well. But if we just look back 2 or 3 years ago, oil was at like $20 or $30 or something like that, like per barrel, right? And it's like oil industry is notoriously cyclical, right? So what opportunities and challenges did you find with your supplier ecosystem during that downturn?
Sure. So yeah, this last cycle has probably been one of the longest down cycles that most of us have experienced. And as you've just heard, we had been in the $120, $128 oil per day a barrel, and then we tanked to the low 20s. That resulted in many oil companies and oil field services providers really in a fight for their survival. And we were no different. I led 2 reorgs in supply chain in over 2 years. We lost up to 50% of our organization. In excess of 300,000 people left the industry. A pretty bleak picture. But what that also stimulated, I think, and I feel really optimistic about this, is that the way that we have approached these cycles in the past are simply no longer valid. Mm-hmm. There has to be a new business imperative that emerges for our industry. And as a result of that, and coming through the reorg, we made it very clear that we needed more investment in digital in order to compensate for the absence of personnel doing work that can so readily today be automated. And then similarly, whilst I don't have the customer interface that an ABB or a Volvo has, I have internal customers, mm-hmm. but I also have suppliers where we wish to be their customer of choice. And therefore, their experience is really important to a supply chain professional. So, emerging from 2017, we actually introduced a role in supply chain, our first digital lead for supply chain. That person's actually in the audience today, so I might say more on that later.
Awesome. No, that's great. So this whole initiative, Hess 360, kind of talks. You've talked about this in the past. Is like connects people, processes, and data across your ecosystem. Can you explain more?
Say more.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are nothing without our suppliers, and over the years and through these cycles, you can actually erode trust in relationships. We made a very conscious choice that in order to be the customer of choice for our suppliers, we had to make changes in the way that we collaborated. And so reorg occurs, we have our digital lead, but we also recognized it was time to take the step into a greater digital world that would allow for us to collaborate in a much more systematized way. So with that, we invested time and effort in the adoption of the Hess, the Salesforce platform, mm-hmm. and we call that our Hess 360. And it's to provide us with a 360-degree view of all our supplier relationship management activities. We were multiple disparate systems in the past, and as of today, we have integrated 9 disparate systems into one single pane of glass. And I don't normally take my cell phone onto the platform, but I did so just to illustrate that we now have supplier relationship management mobile at Hess. So I won't do that and waste time, but we have the icon. I can select my icon, and I can see everything associated with safety, quality, and delivery and cost, issues, challenges associated with our strategic and core suppliers. We could never do that before. We had teams taking hours and days, actually, collecting data for meetings, and then not showing up publicly as one face to the market. We were multiple faces because we weren't in sync. We weren't integrated internally. So I hope you can sense the enthusiasm because we're at an exciting junction in our energy sector.
No, that's amazing story. What a transformation. Really appreciate it, Evelyn. That was a great story.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic kind of... What I like about that story is it's an amazing transformation in a space like supply chain, right? And taking the power of the same platform. So with that, what I want to do is invite Cindy back on the stage. Cindy, take us home. Let the audience know where they need to go next.
Okay,
Great.
I will.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so we covered a lot of topics today, and thank you again to our guest speakers. They were just really brought to life real stories and pain and reality of what it takes to transform your companies. And we talked about that, right? So first one is, how do you empower the next generation of workforce and your existing workforce by investing in technology and to attract that next generation, to be able to do some of the examples of what we showed today. The other, we talked about that, intelligent connectivity, knowing what we want when they want it, understanding the customer's needs. And the last, of course, is continue that digital transformation and investing in the capabilities to continue to evolve that experience. And so with that, let me evolve your experience today by inviting you to the rest of the 4 days of jam-packed agenda. And while I'm talking about this, for some of you, please take the picture of this slide, since there's a link on it to some of the breakout sessions. So we have a lodge, a manufacturing lodge, manufacturing, automotive, and energy lodge. It's the first time ever we've had a place where you can go to network. There will be some theater sessions held there, some additional demonstrations, some partner solutions there, as well as refreshments. Second, on the campgrounds, there's a lot more product demonstrations there and solution demonstrations that really bring to life a lot of the examples that we spoke about today. And last but not least, also the breakout sessions. We have them for each one of the industry segments, so we've got your agenda packed with more discussions and more customer stories. Every single one of the breakout sessions has a customer presenting or two presenting, so we continue the momentum around just learning from the experience of your colleagues. And the other thing I have is two things. One is please fill out the survey. Our agenda, our speakers, the stories, all of this that comes together is based on your feedback, so I hope you enjoyed today. You learned, you networked, we made this a good part of your morning to kick off the rest of the day and the week. And so please, I invite you to provide some feedback to that, as well as, I think some of you know, we have a bit of a raffle. And so I get to announce the raffle winners, and we are raffling off a Amazon Echo Dot M+, the M+, I always forget. All right, so you ready? This is my other job, that I can be an announcer. I feel like I should have the balls rolling and I get to pull out the numbers. Okay, first winner is 0837. Please check your cards. Second winner is 0030. And third winner is 0743. So as we conclude the morning, please come up to the front. We'll find you to give you your prize. And thank you, everyone, for being here. And thank Yumi. Bye, Yumi. Bye. Say goodbye to Yumi.